Emotional literacy. It's a term we use quite purposely between both of us. Sometimes we'll hear terms like emotional intelligence, EQ, some will call it, as compared to IQ. We use emotional literacy quite purposely and very much linked to the thoughts around literacy in general, learning to read and write. And those things can be intermeshed and separate and complex and confusing sometimes, but literacy we use quite purposely. So this lesson, we start exploring emotional literacy and how learning journals can really assist with that. Lisa, I'm just wondering if you could share a bit around your thoughts on emotional literacy and the use of learning journals.
Absolutely. So to be human means we feel. And what accompanies feelings is emotion. Emotions define our experience in being human. And so to take a deep dive into that means we're taking a deep dive into ourselves. So doing that in a learning journal can assist because it's a non-judgmental place for you to start kind of jotting down and playing with ideas. Well, I think maybe I was angry today, for example. And as we work through the layers of anger, maybe we come to a place of recognizing, actually, I was hurt. I was hurt that I wasn't seen today. And so if we can give ourselves the gift of space to be able to start to write some of that out, that's going to enhance our connection to ourself. And by doing that, we're also going to expand our own emotional literacy. As we do those things, it's also going to shift our relationship with other people because we come to recognize if this is happening in me, it's probably happening in other people too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it. Literacy, it's really about learning to read yourself and write yourself, and
Hmm.
yourself in relationship with others and write yourself in relationship with others. And sometimes people can find that they actually writing a letter to somebody might be the most powerful way they can communicate in certain situations and scenarios. And you and I often talk about this in terms of how dominant text message, in a sense, not just like an SMS text message on your phone, but Facebook posts and Twitter and all the rest of that, emails. And we often have a recommendation for folks that are reading texts and emails in a certain way, what is that recommendation that you often provide?
I tell people to read it like a robot.
Read it like a robot, and that will take away any of your reaction to it. And in a sense, that's what learning journals can really open up for us in emotional literacy is just to get curious, inquire more. Why do I think about things that way? That thinking
Mhm.
about thinking piece, where did that come from? And we have the circles diagram, which we work throughout this course. It really is a foundation that we rely on a lot. Different theorists have used it over the years. We ourselves, which are complex beings with all these experiences from the past, we're in the now, we're thinking about the future, and we're always cycling through those. We are influenced by and influencing the people around us, from our children, kids, peers, colleagues, family, people at the supermarket, wherever that may be. And we are all embedded and enmeshed within systems over time. And we live in countries that have certain structures, certain rules, those types of things. And so we talk a lot about that and emotional literacy, that ability to read and write about how we're feeling, why we're feeling that way can be so important, and so important when we start to talk more about learning and not just in a formal school sense, because we are beings, beings that are always learning. So emotional literacy and learning journals.